Welcome to Bees Along.
G'day Biggs. If you've been getting your equipment, you'll realise you've already accumulated quite a bit, and you'll have even more when you start harvesting. Now, you need somewhere to store everything. Some can go inside, but definitely not this. Your protective wear, once you have started using your smoker, will absolutely stink. You won't want to put it indoors. Okay, now let's get into the bees. Which race you might want and where you can source them. Woo!
I am not able to make a recommendation for any particular race, as I don't actually know your location. Use this chart when making your choice, as it shows the characteristics of each bee race. For beginners, your locality should be the defining factor, and other traits should follow. If you live in a temperate zone, then the Italian bee is by far the most popular. Can tolerate quite a wide range of temperatures, and I recommend this one for a person with their first beehive. Very manageable, pretty calm bee, very productive. If you live in a cold zone, you might consider the black bee, sometimes called the dark bee, the German bee, the British bee, depends on where you are. It cuts back on its brood production during the cold weather, and therefore uses a lot less resources for it to be able to survive. If you live in a hot zone, then this Apis cerana is the best bee. It's the Asian bee, but unfortunately for the majority of us, it's either banned in your country, like Australia, or extremely hard to get hold of in other parts of the world. So we'll have to make do with the ones we can get hold of, and Apis mellifera. Look for beaks in your area who are using the Cardovian. It's a subspecies of the Italian bee and tolerates hot weather very well. To give you the best chance of being successful with your first bees, find out what local beekeepers are keeping in your area. Use your club or a group on Facebook. If you find the bees don't suit you, they may be aggressive, they could not be producing enough honey for you. Remember, you're not stuck with that particular bee or race of bees. If you'd installed Buckfast and then you requeened with Italian bees, within a few months you would find that the hive had morphed and would only contain Italian bees. I suggest that you buy a nucleus of bees, a nuke, for your first bees. It'll come in a box like this, good example. It has 5 frames, 4 of brood in all stages, and 1 frame of honey and stores, or 3 frames of brood and 2 frames of honey and stores. There is no queen. The frames are taken from an existing strong hive, placed in the nuke box, and a new queen is introduced. From the time the queen starts laying, it takes 21 days before a new bee hatches. It takes a further 21 days, well, approximately, for that young bee to mature and to carry out the various duties she has to perform, like cleaning and feeding the queen, doing guard duty, before she becomes a field bee to go out gathering resources. I would not buy a nucleus of bees unless it was at least 49 days plus old. That way I could be assured that I would have enough bees to put into my new hive. Second option would be from an apiary that provides the bees, again from quality stock, but they buy in their queens. Buying a nuke locally. This one has a introduced queen into a split. As you can see, it looks good. You can also buy a split where there is no queen in the nuke, and the bees build queen cells. A virgin queen mates freely. In this case, because the queen mates freely, you have no idea of the quality of the virgin queen when she comes back. You have no idea of what the temperament of the bees will be or how productive they will be. But if it doesn't suit you, as I said before, you can introduce your own queen. You could buy a nuke. It's made up from a swarm like this. It will come with a queen, could be unknown, or you may be lucky, and it has a marked queen that's come from somebody else's hive. If you can get some help or a mentor, you could capture your own swarm. This is my preferred method, as I like local bees that have become acclimatized to my region. This is my club's last meet where we were requeening some of the hives. The more experienced members are always happy to give beginners a helping hand, like installing a nuke. You'll also find that Beaks on Facebook will often give a hand as well, so don't be afraid to ask for your first venture. Now, good luck. Please let me know how things went in the comments below. For future videos and updates, please subscribe, then click the bell.